You're one of the great success stories of a child actor. If there's anything that you could, look, young boys, young girls that want to follow in Kiki's footsteps, what's some of the advice you would give them?
You can't change the world. You know, there's a great quote that I love with Mother Teresa. She says, no great things can be done, only small things with great love. So focus on what you can do on the inside with yourself. You know, my book, Master Me, is all about self-mastery, mastery of the self, how you move in this world, how you choose to show up and perform, how you choose to identify your purpose and how that informs the way you're going to perform and how that leads you to your power. That's what it's about to me. So I would say to lean into you, trust yourself, know where it is that you feel safe, have and create a community that allows you to flourish and encourages you to be your best. And then be easy on yourself. Take it one day at a time, because I didn't know the blueprint I was drawing, but I trusted and had faith that it was going to work out. And I followed my heart. I followed what made me feel good, what made me feel happy, my sense of purpose, what drew me to something from a good place. That's what allowed to lead me. And so, yeah, trust yourself, because you know at the end of the day.
There's a viral clip that's circulating where Justin Bieber says he wished he could protect Billie Eilish from the industry. But, I mean, obviously he came up in the industry, extremely successful. You came up in the industry. What is it? Is because the kids are like kind of like isolated? Like a lot of times, I mean, I don't, like you said, your mom traveled with you everywhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, I had Kale Mitchell here, and I've had some others that, you know, sometimes the parents are not around, and, you know, sometimes and kids they're vulnerable. They're easily taken advantage of.
Yes, I think it's everything you said. Kids are easily taken advantage of. You can go all the way back to Judy Garland when they were pumping her up with drugs. So, I mean, it happens. And even if it's not the most extreme idea, it's still traumatizing. Like, I can't tell you that I mean, I've experienced some crazy things, but I can't tell you they were done when I was a kid on set. But even still, it was hard.
Right.
So I just think being a child and working in an adult world, this is an adult business. There's nothing childish or kiddie about showing up and working 20 hours a day, you know?
Right.
I just don't think there's anything that can really prepare a child for that, because mentally they're not able to understand that. And so there are some things in place, but like I said, I feel like there should be therapists. And I seen an interview recently where Raven-Symoné was saying that on her show, they do have that. So I just think there needs to be more things implemented to protect a child from a childhood that essentially they're being stripped of. Because the thing about childhood is you're allowed to be a child, which means I'm allowed to cry and kick and scream. I'm allowed to have a bad attitude. You know, my son, we did Halloween pictures yesterday. He kicked and screamed the whole time. He can do that because he's a kid. But when people are there because it's a business, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't kick and scream. You're not allowed to be a kid. You're not allowed to say, I don't want to do this. You're not allowed.
You have to be an adult as a 7, 8, 12-year-old.
You do. And that's why a lot of times people say, so-and-so seems so mature. They seem so, well, they've aged. The industry will age you. You know, sometimes I feel 50 because the way that I had to be objective about things in order to survive the scenario, you know, it's going to make you more mature. And so, yeah, I get the statement, because you know, everybody wants people to be able to enjoy their childhood. But as a child entertainer,
You don't get a childhood. You get robbed of that, huh?
no, you can't. You have to. There's no way to be a kid there. It's not fit for that.
Nickelodeon scandal, quiet on the set. Your mom said some Nickelodeon sets were very weird and cultish. Did you have did you experience any of that?
I did not. I'm very grateful to God I didn't experience anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's because my parents was doing more than the other parents or something like that. Because I'm sure many of these parents was doing their best. But my parents, they were really so strict on me. And a lot of times I feel like that's why I didn't get some opportunities, or I don't even want to say opportunities, but why some people didn't want to work with me. And it's not even that there was necessarily going to be something sinister going on in a sexual manner, but it would also be financial. You know, my mom, she would read those contracts. She would say, well, this is the second year. She needs a raise. And they're like, okay, well, she's coming. So instead of doing a third season, we'll overpack the second season so we can get 3 seasons and we don't have to pay her more.
Right.
And so those are the kinds of things that Sharon would do that I think she was just so alert that it would scare some people off. You know, and
But
yes,
she wasn't going to let anybody take advantage of her child.
she was serious about that. She really was. I remember she cursed a lot of people out. She definitely did. I ain't raising no dummy. Y'all need to make sure she get her school. I'll never forget that's what she did on the Keela and the Beast set because it was kind of starting to overwork me. And she said, I'ma close the set down. She ain't got no school all day. I ain't raising no fool. It don't make no sense for her to be on this set with this movie where they talking about a little girl learning how to spell and y'all ain't gonna let her read.
Wow.
And as a kid, sometimes that stuff would embarrass me. Yes, it would embarrass me. But now it's like, woo, thank goodness. And she would tell me that, later on that she was scared, but she was just doing what she felt she needed to do to protect me.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like any of the crazy industry or hard things I went through, most of the time I brought them on myself as a young woman. Because as a kid, Larry and Sharon were like...
They was on it.
They was on it. Yeah.
What are some of the best advice that men, women in the industry before you have partaken, shared with Kiki?
A lot of people have shared a lot of things with me. I remember I was on a set of The Long Shots with Ice Cube. And I think I've told this story before. But, he was very cool, very chill. He didn't say too much, a man of few words, but very nice. And one day, they were like, Ice Cube wants to speak to you. And I'm like, okay. So they called me into a room. He's like way far distant from me and there's some bodyguards there. I'm like, what are we about to talk about? He's like, I just want to tell you, Kiki, you're a beautiful young lady. And I see how kind you are, how nice you are to everybody on the set. But I want you to know that you're growing into a young woman. And a lot of times the way that people see you, the way that these men see you on set, it's not the way that you see yourself. So protect yourself, be careful, and don't let them take advantage of you. Know who you are and know what you have so that people can't use it against you. And I was just like, I didn't understand it because I was like 14 at the time. And I was like, okay. And I just said, can I go? And I walked out. That stuck with me. And it was so important, I think, for him to say something like that to me. You know what I mean? He's a father. He's someone who has seen a lot in this industry, especially with young entertainers.
Right.
And I always remember that, and I was always so grateful to him for that. I haven't seen him since, but I would love to tell him that really stuck with me all these years, and thank you for reminding me.
As a former NFL player, I know a thing or two about high performance, and that's why I drive the BMW 7 Series. This car has everything I need. It's big enough, comfortable enough, and luxurious enough to meet even my high expectations. When I'm behind the wheel of the BMW, I'm not just driving a car, I'm driving legacy. What I love most is the precision engineering, cutting-edge technology, and unmatched style. Whether it's spacious interior, the powerful engine, or the smooth ride, BMW makes sure every detail is on point. I trust BMW to deliver the ultimate driving experience, and I know you will too. So why wait? Head over to BMWUSA.com, check out models like the sporty X3, the all-electric i4. Build your dream car today and join me in experiencing luxury and performance that only the ultimate driving machine can offer.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before two something.